Highway Heartbreaker, Sunday.
We'd like to welcome everybody to Game 2 at the Southeast Regional. The winner of Michigan-Oklahoma State will face Ohio State for the right to go to the Final Four. Jim Nance and Billy Packer, 12-8 Michigan. Sean Sutton of the Oklahoma State Cowboys on the line for one more. 13:56 to go in the first half.
You know, Jim, I really thought if there'd be pressure on anybody, it would not be Eddie Sutton, but it would be Sean, who has to have some very tough memories from his stay at Kentucky. Particularly that last year when not only his father, but what he thought maybe was his entire basketball career, having no chance to ever be rekindled.
Sean Sutton called that whole situation at Kentucky, said it was a nightmare from hell. But they've returned now to Lexington. Eddie Sutton sitting on the same bench where he used to coach the Wildcats. Jalen Rose for the Wolverines.
There's Rose getting inside the three-point line. That's where he's going to have to operate against Williams.
14-10 Michigan. Byron Houston a three. Houston is 1 for 3 at the start of this game, and a foul called against Oklahoma State, and Corey Williams, his first team foul number 4. They have 2, by the way, on their starting center, Bryant Reeves.
And Jim, Byron Houston, who in the NIT preseason was burying those three-point shots, made 5 against Georgia Tech, but has not been shooting it well of late. For the year, he's only 22 of 76. Down around 28%. So if possible, I'm sure Eddie Sutton liked him to get him to shift down, either drive low or get down low, post up on Howard.
Trying to dump it into Eric Riley, out of bounds, belonging to Oklahoma State.
Davis got by with a foul on that one.
So far in this game, Juwan Howard with 6 for the Wolverines, who lead it 14-10. On the court for Oklahoma State, Sean Sutton with the basketball, along with Cornell Hatcher, Byron Houston, Randy Davis, and Derwin Alexander.
There was a push-off with the left hand by Houston. Well called.
Game summary, Billy Packer.
Well, I thought, Jim, when this game started, it was very obvious early on that Michigan had the superiority in terms of the athleticism on the floor. Then Eddie Sutton made some major adjustments, took Reeves out. It might have been a little bit nervous playing here in this ball game, let's be honest. He talked to Eddie Sutton about the nervousness in his first game, said, well, I'm not nervous about the game, I'm nervous about thinking about that airplane ride to New York. So imagine what he's thinking about today.
Riley gets it back out to King. He's already hit 1-3. Make it 2. Now, for those of you who will be getting UTEP in Cincinnati, we'll be switching you later to that game. 11:07 is the tip time, Eastern time, for that one. They get you on time for the start of that game. Now, Michigan, we set the Oklahoma State lineup a moment ago. Michigan started with the Fab 5, and now they have Riley, a 7-footer in there now, so 4 starters in Riley. Bryant Reeves was fouled on the back by Ray Jackson. And you'll look at Reeves, the man Billy spoke of a moment ago, nervous about that first plane trip when they were headed to the NIT in New York. He has 2 fouls. Reeves, this time he was fouled.
Well, he was matched up early with Howard. Howard a lot quicker, and I have Riley, now Weber back in the game, giving Juwan Howard a little bit of a rest. Jackson down there on Hatcher, 2 excellent defenders, neither one going to take many shots. And Hatcher, a good man at distributing the ball.
Reeves has position inside and was trying to get it against Riley.
But see, Riley probably as good a big man coming off the bench as there is in the country for anyone.
Derwin Alexander cuts the Michigan lead to 5 with his first bucket.
Weber wanted the lob dunk opportunity from Rose that time, but Houston really got back down the court well.
Riley traveled. 5 turnovers against the Fab 5 of Michigan. Although Riley, of course, is a junior. Official timeout.
Back in Lexington with Randy Ayers, the successful Ohio State coach down in North Carolina at half.
came back in a tough victory. What did you tell Jimmy Jackson at halftime?
Well, to get more involved, to start moving more. And then we set some good screens for him. We freed him up to start the second half. And when Jimmy hits a couple now, he really gets into his rhythm.
You've got Michigan or Oklahoma State on Sunday, both tough customers. You've played one of them a couple of times.
Well, we know Michigan's very talented and just have gotten better this year. That's one thing that has impressed us the most. They've improved over the course of the year.
What about the Cowboys?
Well, they're a good ball club, and they can defend and, of course, have some experience on the perimeter. So we're just happy to be there. We don't care who we play.
Thanks a lot, Randy. Good luck to you. Back to you guys.
Good job, Randy Ayers. And Darwin Alexander's 3 has cut the lead to 2. Michigan by 2 with the basketball.
Jim, on that last play, the problem was that nobody knew who was matched up against Alexander. Rose and Pelinka had a problem deciding who was guarding who. They're talking about it right now. They're saying, hey, I've got number 5, and nobody had the man with the ball. If you're going to pick out a guy to guard, make sure, or not to guard, make sure that's not the guy with the ball.
2 fouls now against Corey Williams. Team foul number 6. Rob Pelinka in for Michigan. He inbounded the ball, and now Weber in the lane. Drops it inside to Riley.
Chris Weber, amazing play right there, because he went up for the jumper and found a better pass inside, and a nice job by Riley to realize there was a potential for the pass. Normally you turn your head going for the rebound. Reeves and Houston haven't been able to work together inside at all.
Oh, on a block. Weber. Williams never had a chance. Now, triple team. They take it away from Houston. King swings it back.
Freshman to freshman to freshman, Jim.
They have stated quite clearly they don't like the name Fab 5. They like VXs. That stands for 5 times.
Oh, boy.
And Reeves never had a chance.
Well, Reeves is in over his head, Jim, in this game. And he may have given Oklahoma State some good play this year, and will in his career, obviously. But tonight he's up against some superior quickness. Look at this block by Weber without fouling with the body. Sensational play. And then he is the man that made the block, but also the man that filled the lane on the break and put it back in.
Hatcher just committed a foul, and that'll send Jimmy King to the line for Michigan, a 1-and-1. Soon we'll be sending some of you out to the Midwest for Cincinnati and UTEP. 11:07 tip. You'll get there for the start. King has 7. He'll shoot 1 more. Michigan has matched its largest lead, a 7-point lead. Byron Houston, 3-pointer.
There's his spot right down underneath the basket. Jimmy King doing it on both ends.
Rose, 3-pointer.
Jim, Eddie Sutton has some real problems personnel-wise in this game. He doesn't have enough power inside. Reeves is not quick enough to go up against the likes of a Riley and a Weber. This is a club that was 20-0 to start the year, then lost 6 of their next 7, running up against a team that's physically superior here tonight.
Give you a tournament summary. 3 #1 seeds have advanced to a regional final. We've got a 1 and a 2 in the East and West finals tomorrow. If Oklahoma State could turn this around, it could be a 1 and a 2. It would be a 1 and a 2 on Sunday here. 2 ACC teams out tonight, Carolina and Georgia Tech. And you're looking at Milton Brown, who has checked in for the first time for Oklahoma State. Reeves to the bench. Alexander.
That's 2 good jumpers by Alexander to keep him going. Jim, when you start talking about seeds, you look at this Michigan team, may this be the most talented number 6 seed that you've ever seen?
I'm telling you, he's living it right there. Rose with 7. I think a lot of people felt right away when the seeds came out that it was an injustice to have the Wolverines that far down.
Well, I'll tell you, I thought Bill Walton was dreaming when he said, you know, we asked him who's going to win a national championship. He said Michigan.
Sean Sutton answering with a 3.
And that's the place for Oklahoma State. Bring the ball back outside. Stay away from the quickness and the power of Michigan down in the low post.
Long bounce pass for Palinka into Riley, but a foul first.
Now, when's the last time you saw somebody throw a pass like that?
Just snapped it on the one bounce to Palinka driving the baseline.
I want you to think about something there. The only guy I've seen throw a bounce pass like that's Magic Johnson. We're talking about a pass. That pass was thrown from about 40 feet on the bounce. Perfect. Easy to catch. Special player.
Riley misses the 1-and-1, the front end of it.
So I guess I've committed the cardinal sin. I said he was the next James Worthy. Now I have him in Magic Johnson. Well, he was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Led the league for the first time ever, a freshman leading the league in rebounding.
Over 10 rebounds a game in that league. I don't care if you're a senior, but a freshman, first time ever, as you said, Billy, to lead the Big Ten in rebounding.
And here Oklahoma State now doing the smart thing. They're surrounding this defense, trying to get their superior ability from the perimeter working. That's not going to be available.
That goes against Alexander, his second.
And you see Alexander saying to Sean Sutton, I should have passed the ball, and he's absolutely correct. Penetrate and dish back out, because they are not going to get layups that way.
Timeout on the floor. The timeout that comes under 8 minutes. First whistle. Michigan had a 10-point lead. It's now 7.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
Basketball championship on CBS.
Jim Nance and Billy Packer, Curry Kirkpatrick with us as well from Lexington. Michigan 27, Oklahoma State 20, with 7:48 to go in the first half. Rob Palinka will inbound for the Wolverines.
Jim, so far, Byron Houston 1 for 5. He has not been able to generate any consistent offensive maneuver so far. When he goes in the low post, he's been hammered, and outside, he hasn't made the 3. I think his best maneuver is somewhere in between the foul line and right underneath the basket.
Houston on Weber.
Weber's going to feel a challenge, try to put the ball on the floor against him. Nice defense that time by Houston.
Howard over Reeves. Corey Williams comes on.
Just runs right by.
They call him the Blur and give it to the Cowboys. Something.
Did he hurt his ankle there, or he's just pulling his shoes up? He might have got a cramp.
Some think he may be the fastest player in college basketball. Corey Williams, they call him the Blur.
Might have been too quick for his own good on that play, Jeff. Oh, great play by Sean Sutton.
Sean Sutton hit a 3 and cut it from 10 to 7, and now the 2 with 1 more to come.
Now, excellent drive by Sutton. He came off the screen by Houston and then used his body to get up the shot. Houston did a good job sealing off any shot blocker. Fine play. Jim, an interesting stat between these two teams. Oklahoma State has 5 players in their starting lineup who shot over 100 free throws this year. Michigan only has 1. Only Jalen Rose has shot over 100 free throws. And now Oklahoma State picking their defense up farther out, trying to spread this game a little bit. Walk.
Kind of slipped on the floor. Turn it over.
This is a subtle move by Eddie Sutton, but a very good coaching move. Make this game spread wider.
Jim Nance and Billy Packer from Rupp Arena. Eddie Sutton returning. He says, we want to make history, not rehash it. But his son has 10 points and has led the Cowboys back to within 4. They had been down 10. Byron Houston just cannot get started. He's only made 1 shot.
Now, Jim, he really is stepping out there, and they're giving him that shot because he hasn't been hitting it.
Oh! King.
What a foul! Get up!
To Michigan.
Weber is really upset on the inside. Felt that Houston fouled him. But one of the things Weber's got to realize, he's playing against one of the strongest men in basketball. He reminds me a lot of Larry Johnson in regard to that upper body strength he has, and most college players just not used to feeling that pressure.
6 minutes remaining, first half. Rose misses the 3.
Good job by Oklahoma State now, coming back with their guard play. Looking for the backdoor cut. Pelinka did a good job.
Double teaming Houston. Williams, good outside shooter. That's a three to cut it to one.
It's a great job by this team, realizing they can't get that ball inside and working it on the perimeter.
They've scored 9 unanswered, Billy.
I remember their shooting against Tulane, 80%. Pick and roll.
Weber, after Reeves fell to the floor.
Well, the guy that made that play was Howard. Very unselfish. The guards are just taking over this game for Oklahoma State. And you got to give Houston some credit for not being selfish himself. He's being very patient here.
Here he is, turning around. Reeves. Rose has it. 2 on 3, he'll pull up. And this will give Oklahoma State a go. Court decision by Rose that time. Sutton can tie it with this one.
And that was a 3-on-1 that they should have got a better shot than that.
Pelinka lobs it too high for King.
Steve Fisher may want to bring his guys back down to reality. They're playing like they got a 15-point lead.
Corey Williams, yes!
And got fouled, Jim.
Could be a 4-point play.
Now, what happened to Michigan? They forgot where they were and what the score was in this game. They felt so comfortable early on, overpowering Oklahoma State on the inside, but now Oklahoma State's guards have taken this game over.
3-point basket.
And when you look up the score, it's hard to believe, but they have a chance to take the lead right here.
Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, the road to the Final Four preview show. And then you'll see the West Regional Final with Indiana and UCLA. Kentucky and Duke in the East Final to follow. The Blur or the Terminator. They say he has a million nicknames, but whatever you want to call him, Corey Williams, he's a fast one. He has 10 points off to a fast start. And 4-point opportunity, he converts. And Oklahoma State takes the lead.
Well, he's the all-time three-point shot maker at Oklahoma State, also all-Big 8 defender. He's giving Jalen Rose fits out on the perimeter.
So 13-2 run. And that's going against Weber. He pushed off.
And what has happened? It was a subtle change by Eddie Sutton, but he has just extended this game farther away from the basket on both ends of the floor. On the defensive end, he's picking up a little higher out, forcing Michigan to have a little more space to operate from. And then on the other end of the floor, his guards are surrounding the perimeter perfectly.
Alexander shuttled back in for Williams. That was the second against Weber. Team foul number 7. 2 on Weber. So Milton Brown, 6'4" junior from Little Rock, Arkansas, has a 1-and-1. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. The winner to play Ohio State.
Now it's Alexander on Rose. Rose could score if he can get the ball here. He's got too much size on him.
Michael Talley is in for the first time for Michigan.
See, there's Rose going right down in the low post.
Turns around. And rebound Randy Davis.
Excellent quickness to the ball by Randy Davis.
Hey, that's number 3 on Weber.
That was on Weber, his third.
He immediately heads to the bench.
Yeah, he's going to sit.
And is replaced by Eric Riley.
Jim, we talk about they are not the fab freshmen, but one of the things that experience played in this game is that they did not recognize what was happening to them on either end of the floor, the Michigan players.
For Oklahoma State entering number 35, Byron Houston.
Houston and Williams in for Brown and Sutton. 1-and-1 for Randy Davis, 6'9" junior from Houston, Texas, out of Yates High School, a school that produced a Final Four participant 3 times.
Left-hander, though.
Michael Young.
You know, Jim, I saw a game early this year that Oklahoma State played and won, probably one of the most perfectly executed games I saw all year, and that was at Kansas against Kansas State. Byron Houston had his low of the season in that game, 7 points. He matched that against Colorado. But he was very patient in that game, had foul problems, sat down a lot, but the guards played so well. Tonight he's 1 for 7, but you look up at the scoreboard and his team is leading.
On the floor. Official timeout. Oklahoma State by 3.
Good morning, America!
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wake up, you sleepyhead.
Good morning to you and you and you.
Get up, get out of bed.
Every morning all across America, over 50 million people come to life with Delta faucets.
Live, love, laugh, and be happy.
Good morning. Good morning.
Delta,
Good
the way
morning.
water is bright.
Of the great Ali Sheba, the racehorse. This is the same place and the same head that the Michigan team back in '89 went down to pat on their way to the national championship when they came through Lexington. Back to you guys.
And the man defending Jalen Rose, Corey Williams, said he'd like to race Ali Sheba in a 40.
Yeah, in a 40. They said he runs the 40 in about 4.3.
One reason he may go out for the football team for Coach Pat Jones in the fall. This will be his last year of eligibility in basketball. Like to maybe try a defensive back. And he'll see Eric Riley now break a 15-2 run for Oklahoma State.
Jim, again, look at how far Oklahoma State has extended this game. They're creating spacing, which allows them to use their quickness against Michigan's strength.
Here's the blur, dumps it in. Davis should have had that one. It bounces off of Talley, right back to the Cowboys. 10 turnovers against Michigan.
Well, and Houston so far has 4 himself and is only 1 for 7. And his team, you look up at the scoreboard, leading by 1. He's setting a lot of screens. He's being patient. Hatcher, who's a good passer. And also what they're doing is making this a 65-point game, Jim, which is their pattern.
Tempo, yep.
Right, it's their pattern, and it's not Michigan's pattern.
Houston so desperately wanting to get on track.
Oh, there's Davis again, quick off the floor. Now, Davis, much like Funderburk in the first game, it's not the first leap that kills you, it's that second one. This is a young man who only played 1 year of high school basketball and really is going to be a fine player at Oklahoma State.
3 now against Ray Jackson. Jackson and Weber each saddled with 3 personal fouls in the first half. 2-shot situation for Randy Davis. Teammates like to say about Davis, he's a walking encyclopedia of sports. He has all the stats.
Well, you know, this club only shoots 68% from the foul line, but they go to the foul line so much. They went 928 times to the line this year. And to put that in perspective, Michigan, with all their power in the low post, only went 679. So almost 250 more free throws on the year. That's very significant.
Jimmy King is back in for Michigan, and he handles the basketball now as they move into the front court. Down 2.
Some solid minutes by Riley coming in off the bench now. Number 2 rebounder in the Big Ten last year. This year just a backup. They're playing well in this game.
Under 2 to go in the first half. Talley driving on Sutton.
Good hands by Riley again.
King wide open.
There goes Davis.
Howard. +1.
I think it's going to be Williams on the reach-in, but shows you how strong Juwan Howard is. Williams, who's got a lot of strength, got part of the ball, and Howard was able to just take it right up anyway.
First against Davis.
Look at Howard. He'll go up. Oh, it was Alexander who reached in there, and Williams, and there's Williams reaching in. He just two-hand powered it right up.
They call it on Davis.
Well, they did call on Davis,
yes.
huh?
His first.
Well, I guess 3 people got a piece of them on that shot. They could pick out anyone they wanted.
Houston's 4th rebound.
Davis very active down inside. A lot quicker than is Riley.
Game tied 33-all. Davis. The ball on the line belongs to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, the ball was touched by Riley, and Williams wisely didn't go after it until it hit out of bounds.
Final minute of the first half. Our first tie, 33-all. The 2 seed, Oklahoma State. The 6 seed, Michigan. The winner faces Ohio State. Alexander. See how Rose handles the clock here.
Well, if you're Michigan, you ought to just hang on to it to the end of the half.
Houston almost made the steal. And a foul inside on Riley, who pushed off. He took Corey Williams out. That's his first, and team foul number 10. By the way, on the road to the Final Four, preview show tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, a roundtable with Digger Phelps, Mike Francesa, Bill Walton, Pat O'Brien. Dale Brown will also be in the studio, and then we'll have the doubleheader for you. Indiana and UCLA in the West, Kentucky and Duke in the East.
Well, there's an opportunity for Dale Brown to ask Bill Walton what he thought about Shaquille O'Neal coming out in that game against Indiana. And Bill will not be afraid to respond. It'll be a nice little back and forth there.
2 shots for Corey Williams. He's the high man so far for Oklahoma State with 12. Weber.
There's a cage tiger over there, Chris Weber, with 3 fouls, wanting to get back into the action.
Two-point lead, 39 seconds remaining. First half.
Key here just to hang on and make sure that you don't let Oklahoma State get any more possessions. Michigan has to be somewhat disappointed. They had an opportunity maybe even to go, as you said, Jim, when we were away for a knockout blow, which tough to knock out a team with 4 seniors, particularly a team with the 3 guards that have been around in a tough conference.
Michigan's had trouble going for the kill all season. Now with 8 seconds to go in the half, Talley handling the basketball. Over Sutton. Riley is right there. Blocked by Davis. Riley again. Rose feels it.
That's a brilliant play by Houston to bat the ball back out to half court to make sure that Michigan couldn't keep it alive. Smart play.
18-6. Oklahoma State in the latter minutes to take a 2-point lead.
Things are different. And let's take you out to Dick Stockton. Al McGuire, 14-10 left in the first half.
Cincinnati Bearcats, the highest seed of the 4 teams remaining in the Midwest Regional, are leading 16-6. Anthony Buford has just hit a 3. That's his second of the ball game, and now a 13-point lead for the Bearcats.
Full court pressure by the Bearcats, or Bear trap, whatever you want to call it.
And Ralph Davis follows it in. It's been a defensive game dominated by the team with the ball.
Yep, Prince Stu at that time, what he likes to do, he penetrated and kicked off. But the Bearcats are not allowing the UTEP club to get into sync where they're eating up the clock, taking them down in the half-court offense.
Herb Jones, the Bearcats' leading scorer, has replaced Anthony Buford in the lineup. So it's Gibson and Van Exel in the backcourt. Up front, it's Martin, Jones, and the center is Plunk with the ball. Nearly a steal. And Herb Jones, and they said it was tied up, and so the possession hour will favor the Miners. Right now in this game, Cincinnati has 5 offensive rebounds, and the Miners haven't gotten one yet.
The Miners got to make the shot the first time, or it's Tapioco. Now here comes the trap, trying to trap the small guards so they can't see over it.
Brent Stewart breaks it, and they get it inside to Johnny Melvin.
That's what I said earlier. Why I think that UTEP is going to get back into this ball game is that finally their baseline men are spreading down below, which gives the option. See the baseline men down below? They're spreading now. When the penetration comes here, watch Prince penetrate. Now he'll kick. Fake to the left, kick to the right. Could be a possible three-point play.
And so UTEP crawling back into the game, gentlemen.
They were down 10-zip early. Cincinnati, which they always do, turned them over. They averaged 21 turnovers a game. And I think the traps, though, Digger, in the half court are not going to be that effective for Cincinnati against those little guards. I think they should back off a little bit.
What you saw in that last play was when they spread the trap and then went through the trap and penetrated for a 3-on-2. You'll see more of that. But I also feel that Maxi's got to get involved for UTEP inside. Very good offensive player.
8-point game, 19-11. Cincinnati leads that one. Let's, fellas, get everybody up to date on what's been going on in the Southeast Regional Semifinal. Ohio State, the Buckeyes advance. They beat North Carolina 80-73. Randy Ayers has his team primed for this tournament. Jimmy Jackson early in the game, watch him get the slam, boom, on the fast break, and Ohio State Lawrence Funderburk had a good day, too. Mike.
He was the key guy. Neutralized Montross, who was going to be a big guy. You see the bank shot, the little return for Funderburk. He was a huge key in the game.
Coming down to the end of the second half, the Buckeyes increase their lead. Jamie Skelton with the 3 there, and so Ohio State advances. They'll play the winner of this game. In the Midwest Regional Semifinal earlier today, Memphis State in an overtime game comes out on top 83-79. Not real pretty win for them, as Larry Finch, their coach, said.
It's great when you're able to win a game and you don't play your best. So hopefully, as I told these guys, we'll do a good game. We haven't played a great game in this tournament yet. We win it ugly, but that's the key to win. It doesn't matter how pretty it is, whatever, just keep advancing. We got one more big one before we're at the big dance.
And if I'm sitting next to you guys in a bar or a cafeteria, I'd say they stole the game.
Absolutely. They won one. Not that they didn't deserve to win, but they didn't expect to win. Georgia Tech made a lot of mistakes down the end of this ball game and in the overtime.
I think the freshman call up, and Travis Vest had a couple turnovers. James Forrest commits that foul where it put them up. They were up 1, now they go down 1. Turned it right back to Memphis State.
And Mike and I were talking how in this tournament, you can be on such a high as Georgia Tech was, and then on such a low, obviously.
Absolutely. Turns around quickly,
Let's look at the brackets now, and how do you see this shaping up?
Well, we have to wait for a couple more teams here. Cincinnati and Memphis State would be for the 4th time this year, and if Michigan wins, Ohio State beat Michigan twice this year.
I was asking to look into a crystal ball there.
That's right.
I guess I shouldn't have done that. Division II semifinal.
11 from beyond that range, and of the 5 shots they missed, 4 were missed by Houston. But they have really done the job by pushing Michigan way outside.
That 3 you just illustrated from Sutton came when the Cowboys trailed 27-17. They then outscored Michigan 18-6 the rest of the way, take a 2-point lead.
Michigan's going to have to turn this, if they're going to get back in the game, back into a power game inside, and there's Weber.
Weber with 3 fouls.
They want to keep this game right down in this paint.
Jackson missed a short one. Weber kept it alive. Howard over Reeves.
No call on that play, and Steve Fisher really came off the bench. I thought Reeves hammered Howard.
Foul on Jawan Howard. And let's get a report from Curry Kirkpatrick.
Jim, Michigan's Fab Five almost sunk this game like a yellow submarine, but Eddie Sutton came back with defensive intensity, and he told his guys, you just got to keep that up. He wants his big guys to stop being intimidated down low. He feels that. The Michigan guys came out of their locker room in a huddle on their own without their coaches. Steve Fisher told them, you got to keep intense.
How about 5-second call, ref? There it finally comes. You know, everybody always thinks, Jim, that you only can get a 5-second call out in the midcourt area against a dribbler. A postman can't stand there all day long with the ball. He was double teamed. He had 5 seconds by both guys. You don't get 2.5 seconds apiece.
Backcourt 10 out of 14, but inside 1 of 13. It's primarily Houston, 1 out of 8. Houston defense. Stuck a hand in there and got the steal. second half with their All-America. And Reeves tries to save it, but no.
Having not watched Byron Houston in practice, as we had a chance last year and throughout his career to watch Larry Johnson a lot, I'd like to make a differential between the two. Larry Johnson much better in stepping outside and being able to put the ball on the floor and go by. Byron Houston really having problems at that tonight because he's playing against such a superior guy in size. He can't get off the low post shot, and I don't see him stepping out and going by people with a dribble. Maybe he can do it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Billy Jimmy King just gave Michigan the lead with that three-point basket.
Remember, Weber has 3 on him, but Reeves hasn't been quick enough to pick up the 4th.
After that basket, they just handed Howard his 3rd personal. So 2 quick ones in this half by Howard, 3 overall.
And again, see where the offense is set up, about 2 steps beyond the 3-point line.
Williams.
So quick.
Basket by Williams.
He'll give you a cold if you play against him. You better put a hat on.
15 for Williams. And a steal by Sutton. With Weber coming down. Oh, he gives it up the last second. And Weber picks up number 4.
The heady play of Sean Sutton.
Weber, his 4th, team 3rd.
You know, Weber was just quick enough to stay with Sutton. Now watch Sutton. He knows he's coming behind. He realized he has a trailer coming offensively. Looks like the shot. All along, he knew he was going to pass. Really a touch foul on the play. But that's going to sit Weber down with 4. We talked about a caged tiger in the first half. What do you think it's going to be like for him now? He's going to have to sit for 10, 12 minutes.
Wasn't a whole lot of contact on that one, Billy.
Nope, I didn't think so either.
Sutton tried to dish it off to Houston, and Rose commits his first. So let's reset it. Weber with 4, Jackson and Howard with 3. No one in foul trouble from Oklahoma State.
Of course, Chris Weber coming off a great game against Tulane with a 30 points. Against East Tennessee State, I mean, with a 30-point game.
That was Weber's career high. The last outing. On the blocks, Houston, 2 guys around him.
He just can't get anything off inside.
1 out of 10 now for Byron Houston.
And that makes the team 1 out of 10 from down inside the paint.
Riley, good ball.
I think it's time for Davis to come back in for Oklahoma State. He possessed the quickness to stick with Riley.
They go to Reeves. And the 7-footer from Gans, Oklahoma. A town of 350 people. Puts Oklahoma State back in front. High school team had 7 players on it. There's Riley over Reeves. And Reeves, his 3rd. A moment ago we said no Cowboy in foul trouble. Now they have 1. Reeves with 3. Billy, when you have 7 guys on the team, it's kind of hard to hold a practice.
Well, you know, Jim, it's really funny. I'm sure people at home saying, well, that's impossible. They couldn't do anything. But they ran 2-lane layup drills. They could play some 3-on-3 and obviously have some shooting games, but never could scrimmage. I think it's a great story, too, and the fact that Bob Knight went down to recruit Reeves on 2 occasions that Eddie Sutton knows about, or Bill Self, too, who was recruiting Reeves. I think the reason for it was that the original call to Bill Self about it came from Coach Fishing Hawk. Knight heard Fishing Hawk, figured there must be some good fishing down there, even if the guy can't play.
I thought it was Fishing Hook.
Yeah, right. And then went down there and fished twice, and obviously didn't come back with a major catch, which was Reeves. Who made all Big 8 freshmen team this year.
Left-handed with Houston.
Boy, what great eye contact between Sutton and Houston.
Cowboys by 3, away from the ball. Foul on Randy Davis.
Well, I thought Davis would come in here quickly for Eddie Sutton. He got the basket out of Reeves, but now he's back in there with his quickness. You see the play, good back screen by Williams. The back screen set up by Williams, and then a perfect pass.
Rose right on the inbounds pass.
Wow, what a step.
Right back to the Blur. The Blur gets it back out to Alexander.
Jim, you talk about Oklahoma State having a blur. They've had some great running backs. You're a football man. So what do you think? Williams goes to the ball. Is he as quick as some of those great running backs?
I'll tell you, the NFL loves that speed, and they'll try him in a corner if he goes out for football next year. And just remember Cornell Green and Manny Hendricks out of Utah, and later the Dallas.
Oh, what about that?
No basket. Outside. Fourth on Howard.
Michigan really in trouble now. They're going to have to go. It looks like Freddie Hunter coming up off that bench. Yes, he is.
For Michigan, Freddie Hunter enters the line.
Howard and Weber with 4 each. Freddie Hunter comes in. The senior, former walk-on, now on scholarship.
Jim, you have to give Freddie Hunter a lot of credit for the success of Michigan this year. The fact that he has provided that leadership to allow the veteran players to accept the freshmen so well.
Jalen Rose missing the 3, right back to him. That's a turnover and a timeout under 16 minutes. Oklahoma State with a 1-point advantage.
9 minutes left in the first half. It's Cincinnati 23, UTEP 17.
First spot on the Final Four, followed by the East Final, Kentucky and Duke.
Now it's Riley on Houston. Now here's where Houston ought to really be able to operate, because they don't have anybody strong enough to stay with it.
Houston wide open. Still can't hit the outside shot.
Well, Jim, I don't know why he'd be outside now. He's got Riley on him. He can do. Now Michigan really has been disseminated with the foul problems they've got. Now's the time where Houston can operate inside and do some real damage. Just as Michigan didn't recognize what happened to them in the first half, now let's see if Oklahoma State recognizes what's happening on the floor for them.
Freddie Hunter, left open. Sean Sutton with the hold.
He tried to block out Jackson, who has superior size. Not all he can do.
Sean Sutton's 3rd appearance in the Sweet 16 this year, last year, and an 88 for Kentucky.
Right. As a freshman.
Bring back Cornell Hatcher for Sutton.
Well, you know, the other thing that's tough for Michigan right now, Jim, is that they're playing with a lineup that I'll bet you did not play together very often in the course of this year. So your timing gets off.
Kings. Lost one. Randy Davis with his 3rd. 4th team foul, and that put Michigan, that basket put Michigan up in front 42-41.
Jimmy King, another one of the 4 McDonald's All-Americans that were on this Michigan great recruiting class, taken over with a great one-on-one move.
Michigan has missed its last 5 free throws.
Okay, now let's see if Oklahoma State right now is the time to get that ball down low to Byron Houston. Solid screen. That's where he wants the ball right now.
Davis trying to post up Hunter inside. 15 on the shot clock. There's a lot of pushing away from the ball, and they got Davis with his 4th.
Jim, he was being so active down inside. Freddie Hunter, with his wise experience, just let him push. That brings Reeves back in the game. Davis has to sit down, so a very bad foul on the part of Davis.
Here are some numbers for you, Billy. On the season, Michigan got 74% of its scoring from freshmen. Oklahoma State, 72% of its scoring from seniors. How will that be a factor down the stretch, you think?
Well, I think the key for Michigan is, can they hang into this game long enough to get all of their foul problems behind them so that they can get Weber and Howard back in the game? And just as we said in the first game, I felt that it was important while Randy Ayers was sitting his starters down to rest them, that North Carolina build up a big enough lead, which they did not.
Riley trying to put the ball on the floor, traveled with it. 15th turnover against Michigan. And let's talk about that foul trouble again. 4 for Davis of Oklahoma State, Reeves with 3, but Weber and Howard have been sitting for a long time with 4 each.
Well, and remember, Weber picked up his 4th on that breakaway by Sean Sutton, so he's going to have to sit a good 10 or 12 minutes.
A 2-wood tie. Reeves with 2 men on him.
Oh, nice bank shot
by Reeves.
Man, they call Big Country. Ties it at 43. Jimmy King. Tipped in by Riley. You made a statement earlier, Billy. I think you're right. Is there a better backup center in college basketball than 7-footer Eric Riley?
I don't think so when you take in consideration all aspects of the game. Kevin Salvadori did a nice job with blocking a lot of shots for North Carolina, but coming off the bench. But Riley does it all.
Reeves got it the last
time. 2 for 2.
Back, yeah. Back to a deadlock at 45.
Just hard-nosed man-to-man by both of these clubs. But because the lineups, due to the foul problems, have been so different tonight, the teams have not been smooth offensively.
Corey Williams outside, but the foul is 3rd. Team foul number 6. The next one will put the Wolverines on the line.
Jim, remember early in the year when we did Michigan against Duke, and the game before that game was the first game ever that Chris Webber has had a teammate since the 8th grade outscore him in a game. And here this year, Jalen Rose has outscored him on the year.
Jalen Rose tonight passed Mike McGee with the all-time freshman scoring mark at Michigan. Here he is.
Good feed by Ronnie, and a good rebound by Ronnie.
Right back to Rose, and a 2-pointer puts Michigan ahead 47-45. Rose with 11.
Doing a little talking now to Hatcher.
Houston trying to get back control of the basketball, reached in to commit his 2nd. And that's number 7, send Michigan to the 1-and-1 situation.
Jim, it's amazing that Houston tonight has not gotten in position where he can score because he's not hitting the outside jumper, and therefore that part of his game has been taken away. Michigan playing to double team him anytime he puts the ball down on the floor in low.
Rose will step to the line for 1 and a bonus.
Since Weber picked up his 4th and went to the bench, Michigan has outscored Oklahoma State 11-8. 1-and-1 for Rose.
Steve Fisher would applaud that. He just want to keep the game close in that period of time. This young man on the foul line, considering a freshman, a leader. He's been the ball handler for this team all year long. 29 of 30 games in double figures. Only the game in Bloomington against Indiana was he held below 10. And he's been the key ball handler for this club all year long.
Timeout under 12. Michigan 49, Oklahoma State 45.
Star of the 1940s for Oklahoma State named Bob Curlin. Bob Curlin was nicknamed Foothills, and he led Oklahoma State, then Oklahoma A&M, to 2 NCAA championships. As a matter of fact, 1947, 47 years ago tonight, 1945, was the first night that Oklahoma State won the NCAA championship. Back to you guys.
A victory against NYU that year, 49-45, the same score we have right now. But this time Oklahoma State is trailing. Houston was fouled by Jackson, and that will be 4 on Jackson. So 3 of the freshmen now with 4. Team foul number 7.
And Jim, talking about Bob Curlin, one of the real gentlemen in sport today. He's the president of the Basketball Hall of Fame right now. And you know, when he played, you could guide the ball into the basket on the offensive end of the floor. Can you imagine what the game would be like now if you just go ahead and say, hey, on the way down, just guide it on in there?
It's changed a little bit.
Yeah, it's changed the rules of the game. 2-time gold medal winner in the Olympics. And his coach, Coach Iba, of course, coached 2 teams to gold medal and 1 silver.
Hatcher kept it alive, and Alexander hits it 3 to cut the lead to 1.
Riley's playing almost a perfect basketball game. Everything they've asked him to do, like stepping out there. That doesn't look like a big play, but it's a smart move to step out, help your teammates.
Jimmy King tried to answer the 3, came up short, and that's off Oklahoma State. Now James Bosco comes in for the Wolverines, a part-time starter for this team, and Corey Williams for the Cowboys will take Reeves out of the game.
Bosco, of course, this is his first time into the game. Earlier in the year, Steve Fisher considered him the #1 outside shooting threat they had, but you don't want to come in a game before you're loose and put one up.
Rose.
A smart play by Rose. Take the jumper on over Williams without putting the ball on the floor so he can't take advantage of his quickness.
Ducked, but it came over to Sutton.
Again, they just cannot get the ball in the low post to Byron Houston at all.
Freddie Hunter on the foul. We talked in the first game about Jim Jackson having big second halves. We've already witnessed several times this season Jalen Rose. Remember the Duke game, scoreless in the first half, 18 in the second half.
Didn't have a point in the first half, at 18 in the second.
Game against Indiana into the season.
You know, Rose has that nasty little edge on him. He just, you know, he has great confidence in his ability. Of course, played on the #1 high school team in America a year ago. But he has that edge of leadership that he just thinks he can take the game and put it on his shoulders and win it.
1-1, and Corey Williams hits the first. Yeah, Rose has 7 in the first half, 8 in the second half, and we're nearing the 10-minute mark to go. 51-49 Michigan. (17) for Williams, who averages 11. Rose.
What a show. And he's doing it against an all Big 8 defender with great quickness and just playing right over the top of Williams. Gets the ball down into Houston, and they just can't make it work. There he is.
Blocked out of bounds.
You notice how now Riley hurt his hand a little bit on that play, but Houston just cannot get the ball over the defenders out playing in the night, whether it be Riley or Howard. Last year, Houston was the co-MVP of the Big 8. This year, he trailed Anthony Peeler in that role.
We've just moved under 10 minutes to go. Michigan with a 3-point lead over the 2 seed, Oklahoma State. And that's going the other way.
3 seconds that time on Houston. He's working on Riley. Riley giving some valuable minutes to Steve Fisher.
Jalen Rose, you're looking at 17 points on the game, 10 in the second half. Meanwhile, we hate to harp on it, but Byron Houston, who averages 21 points a game, is 2 out of 13 from the floor and 5 turnovers. Actually, that last one, the 3-second violation, was his 6th.
No place to go.
No shot right there.
And what happened? Alexander didn't get over there in time. Jimmy King wasn't sure what he wanted to do with it. Got a break.
The winner of this game will face Ohio State Sunday afternoon for the right to go to Minneapolis. Could it be Ohio State and Michigan for the third time this year? Or Ohio State and Oklahoma State for the third time ever?
Jim, I'm going to tell you something that's interesting in another region. For the first time since 1980, two teams from a rookie league got to the Sweet 16, that being Cincinnati and Memphis State. It happened in 1980 with Syracuse and Georgetown. This year, two teams got to the Final 8 and have a chance for one of them, obviously, to be in the Final 4. That hasn't happened way back to the days when UNC Charlotte, 77, from a rookie league, made it to the Final 4.
Sutton missing the layup.
Oh, and Sutton got the rebound.
Bodies everywhere.
Houston is down on the floor with Bosco. Good. Now, if anybody in college basketball refereeing can break it up, it's the referee there, Larry Limbo. Right. He's a daily weightlifter, and I guarantee you, Houston may be strong, but he doesn't want to fool with Larry Limbo. Sutton goes in. Does a great job getting his hands on the ball and the rebound, and then Houston has him. Could have been a walking violation there.
They call it a jump ball, and the arrow belongs to Oklahoma State.
Boy, they're all coming in. And there's Limbo. Excuse me, fellas, I'm taking charge.
Well, you could really go out for the Oklahoma State fine wrestling team with that kind of move. Almost a pin of Bosco, yeah.
Well, they had a man this year, Pat Smith, three-time winner of the NCAA championship, the 158-pounder. But the team did not have an opportunity to pin Iowa. Dan Gable's club won another NCAA championship. His 11th.
There's the weightlifter, Larry Limbo, signaling the foul against Bosco. Nice wrestling update, Billy. I was impressed.
Well, I was raised in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, the home of Lehigh University. It used to be a wrestling capital.
Chris Webber has been resting, well, not resting, he's been sitting with 4 personal fouls for most of this half, and now he returns to the lineup. While he was out, Michigan outscored Oklahoma State 17-13.
Jim, that had to be at about the 18-minute mark, the best I can remember, because it was one of the first plays to start the second half. 17:54, I was close. Well, he sat down for a long time, almost 10 minutes.
Alexander made the first, the front of a 1-and-1. And then everyone started to race down the court. Alexander held his hand up and said, wait a minute, don't I get one more?
Here's a young man that was the 3rd leading free throw shooter in the nation last year at 89%, almost 90%. This year has dropped all the way down to just 76%.
Well, he had a traumatic experience in a game against Iowa State when they were down a point. At the end of the game, he missed 2 free throws, and his confidence at the line has been shaken ever since.
Kind of interesting, when we talked about that yesterday, I mentioned Bryant Stiff of Virginia missing those 2 free throws at a home game, came back to do well thereafter, and they said that they had talked to Alexander about Bryant Stiff and the way he had come back.
Riley puts the Wolverines up by 4. Riley with 10 off the bench.
Now, he's the MVP for Michigan so far. Webber has to be careful. Now, Webber and Davis both with 4 playing each other.
Davis. And it's off Bosco.
Byron Houston, if you remember, that was Bosco and he that were on. They were on the floor a minute or so ago. Houston enjoyed throwing that ball on his chest. Oklahoma State's now working the ball in a lot farther than they did when they were successful in the first half. They need to pull it back out a step or 2. Get a little better spacing.
Sean Sutton. 3-pointer. Cuts it to 1. 13 for Sutton.
Well, everybody thinking that could be back court, but again, Riley with a smart play got himself over the half-court area. That's
Reach
all for
around.
Davis.
Yep, Davis has fouled out.
Jim, remember the last 2 fouls he had were touch fouls. He just had to be more aware of where he was, and we talked about his lack of experience as a basketball player. Just didn't have a feel for it there.
As you said earlier, only his 4th year of organized basketball, Randy Davis fouling out, and they'll bring back their starter, Bryant Reeves, who has made a couple of hoops on consecutive trips in this half, but has not really been physical with the Michigan team.
What, you know, Jim, my mind was distracted by Jalen Rose while that foul shot was going on. He was leading the cheers behind us for Michigan. That's amazing.
The Michigan fan section behind us. Huh?
Yeah, he was orchestrating that cheer.
Weber is out.
He'll remember this game.
He can't believe it. Incredulous. Chris Weber has fouled out of the game with 7 minutes to go.
And they're all his buddies. Rose and King. King gave it a little peck on the cheek there. We'll see what happened. Reeves surprised him by putting the ball on the floor and going under him. With no question, it was a foul. He never expected the big fella to put the ball on the floor with a dribble.
Weber out with 4 points. That's a career low.
And Jim, here's where a player like Riley, who was knocked out of a starting job, knew he was going to have to sit for a long time. Instead of sulking on the bench all year long, has come in and made the contribution in what may be the most important game of his career. Without him tonight, Michigan would be in serious trouble.
Reeves will get one more because Michigan has committed 10, a double bonus situation. And there's Eric Riley. They'll need him the rest of the way. This free throw can tie it with 7:13 on the clock.
Riley's average minutes played this year is 15 in a game. Check that stat when this game's over.
Timeout on the floor.
Television timeout. All fives on the scoreboard.
UTEP 35.
Both of these teams were burning it up percentage-wise with their first 2 games in the tournament. And I said at the top, somebody is going to have to shut someone down defensively. What's happened tonight? Both teams have done that, and that's why we're sitting on a 55-55 score.
Juwan Howard is in the game. He has 4. Ray Jackson has 4. He's also in the lineup. So it's 4 freshmen and Eric Riley, a junior.
Michigan trying to set some screens to get a long lob pass here. A lot of back screens in this offensive set. Trying to get somebody to break free for a lob.
15 on the shot clock. They go to the blocks with Howard.
They want a high. Jalen Rose wants a high screen so he can go off and make a play. Great step out that time by Houston.
King may have to force one. Howard follow through with the soft touch. Say ability to see Eddie Sutton on one bench going against Michigan. Does that remind you of anything on CBS? First game ever when CBS got back in the college basketball was.
It was Bill Frieder who took a walking wounded team of Michigan down to face a very good Arkansas team. Did not win the game, but it was our first regular season game ever on CBS.
Reeves.
And 2 freshman big men answer each other. He's got 9 now. Made a nice contribution now that he's got his feet on the ground. It's kind of a joke, him having his feet on the ground. He weighs about 280. He's got about size 20 feet.
.5:30 on the game clock. 57-57. Rose will shoot 2. Corey Williams. His 4th.
Williams, his 4th.
Corey Williams, number 4. Sean Sutton, the floor leader for Oklahoma State. You saw him.
Steps to the line. He'll shoot 2.
Jalen Rose, his roommate and buddy, Chris Weber, has fouled out. They have been playing basketball together since the 8th grade, although they went to different high schools.
Jim, we're going to have to ask him that question that we brought up in the first game tonight. Had Eric Montross gone to Michigan, what would have been the sequence of events thereafter? 18 points, 10 rebounds. 19.
12 in the second half. 2-point lead for the Wolverines. The 6th seed against the 2 seed. 6th seed leading at the moment.
It's Jalen and Jackson putting on the second half shows here tonight. Jimmy Jackson I'm talking about.
Almost sounded like an
old. Look at Houston and Riley inside. I think that's going to be called on Houston. Sure, Riley was holding him down on the inside. Byron Houston, who is just totally upset tonight. That's his third foul. He hasn't been able to touch the ball, and we'll see it instead. Riley in the ear fight, and here's what happens. See, Houston just so strong for him. He throws him to the floor, but he's just totally frustrated in the low post tonight. He hadn't been able to get the ball, and I don't think Oklahoma State has done a good job setting him up to get the ball.
2 out of 14 from the floor. 7 of Oklahoma State's 14 turnovers, and he's going out for Milton Brown.
I think maybe Eddie Sutton's going to go out, talk to him real quick, and get him right back in the game. That's exactly what's going to happen. This is not for a rest. This is not for discipline. He just wants to talk to him and say, hey, we've got 5 to go, big fella. Get back in here and do it.
Riley with 1 more to shoot. Riley 10 points in the game, Billy, but 0 for 5 from the free throw line.
Jim, I talked about minutes played. He's now played 23 minutes in this game. Only averages, as I said before, 15.
Lineup number 31, Freddie Hunter.
Freddie Hunter comes in.
And let's see if Eddie Sutton puts Byron Houston right back in the game.
Riley comes out, Hunter in.
See, I think it's a perfect time to put him in because you have Juwan Howard and Reeves. There's nobody big enough. Probably have to be Hunter to match up with Houston. But he's going to sit.
Three would tie it. Sutton. Michigan basketball.
Eddie Sutton's got to bring Houston back in the ball game. Here he comes. One possession.
Byron Houston.
Now, if you're Steve Fisher, you got to come back in with some more size. Riley sitting down, is exhausted over there, but
King almost palmed it.
Hatcher playing on Rose. Rose just playing cat and mouse with him, trying to come out from a double screen down low. Rose is such a smart basketball player. You know, he's taking a little rest on his own here. You notice that? Just to get a breather.
Hiding out for the moment.
There he is.
He'll be the man when the shot clock comes down. He'll take the
Oh, yes. Three-pointer. He is a smart ball player, that kid. Lies way beyond his years.
Timeout called by Oklahoma State.
Now, Jim, this is the first time we have ourselves in a situation after last night's 1 and 2 seeds holding together. Looks like we have the possibility for a number 6 right here.
King blocked Williams.
Rose didn't realize how quick Williams was. That's a good foul by Freddie Hunter.
Saved him a basket.
No question. What happened to Rose that time is that he just underestimated that explosive speed of Williams coming from behind. Just took it away. But if you can ever make a good foul, that was a good one by Freddie Hunter, because without question, Oklahoma State had an easy 2.
Eric Riley is back on his feet, checking in for the Wolverines after this first free throw. They have a thing in the Big 8 called the all-bench team. If they had one in the Big 10, you'd have to think Riley would be a member of it. I'd never heard of an all-bench team. It doesn't sound like something you want to make.
No, you know, Jim, I think that's a misnomer. I think that, you know, the top sub or something like the top 5 subs, but all-bench means a guy that never gets in.
Never gets in. The last guy on the team should make the all-bench.
I'd be annoyed if I'd making a contribution when I got on the floor. I mean,
Randy Davis made the all-Big 8 bench team.
I think they ought to change the name of that one.
All-sub team.
You notice how Rose has not been handling the ball lately? There's a timeout called by Howard, the freshman again.
63-59, Wolverines with the timeout this time.
You can ski a live volcano. Take a dip in the Colorado. Take your bike way up in the blue. Get your tidal wave and go. You can sled without the snow. But you've never done nothing like a diet do. Full tilt taste. You won't believe it's a diet. You can leave, you can fly, take a ride in the sky. But you've never done nothing.
Carolina. So, as a matter of fact, when you look back here, in the 80s, NC State, Villanova, and Kansas, 3 teams that won, weren't even in the top 20 at the end of the regular season, and it went on to win a national championship.
Duke and Kentucky met 14 years ago tonight in the national championship game. Jack Gibbons had 41 to lead the Wildcats.
Rose is down. Looked like he was doing a push-up there.
Was in no hurry to get up.
No. What he's trying to do is to let somebody else handle the ball for a while. 5 seconds left.
Beats the shot. Houston.
He walked.
Oh, his 8th turnover of the game.
Nothing going right for Byron Houston. Absolutely nothing.
When this game ends, we'll send you out to the finish of this one, UTEP Cincinnati. Bearcats by 11 in the second half.
And the big men are handling the ball out on the perimeter. Now Rose has had enough rest. He wants Hatcher, an excellent defender, leading career steal man, set a new record for Oklahoma State now on Rose.
Four-point lead for the Wolverines.
You know, you take it as if they have a big lead here, but they really don't. You know, one big turnover.
The nation may know them as the Fab Five, but tonight has been the life of Riley.
I guarantee you. He has saved them with Weber on the bench and only 4 points, fouled out by Dirk.
This is the 3. Reeves. Hold on. Is it against Reeves or Jackson?
No, it's going to be against Jackson coming over Reeves back. That's 5 on Jackson. He's out of there.
Number 5. So Weber and Jackson both have fouled out.
Well, another bloody nose. I'll tell you what, Reeves a little groggy right now. Now,
1:47 remaining in this game. 65-59 Michigan.
Jim, this may be a little bit of a break because Reeves will not have to shoot the fouls. He's going to sit on the bench and be attended to. That brings Alexander, who, as I said earlier, was the 3rd leading free throw shooter in the nation a year ago, and he shoots 76% now.
Ray Jackson is fouled out with 3 points, joining Chris Weber right alongside of him, who was also fouled out. Rob Pelinka comes in.
Eddie Sutton has the right to put anybody from that bench on out there to shoot the free throws.
Again, the winner of this game will play Ohio State Sunday in the Southeast Final. And Billy, you said it a moment ago, Alexander, one of the best last year in the nation at the line, and then had that troubling situation at Iowa State in the late going where he missed 2 free throws. 2 big ones here.
76. It's not like he became a bad free throw shooter, but when you go from roughly 90% down to 76, that's quite a fall off. Reeves is now back. He is very groggy on the bench.
4-point game. 1:47 on the game clock.
I'd say Michigan better get the ball in Rose's hands the rest of the way.
Look out.
Oh, Riley, what a play!
No, they call a foul at midcourt.
Oh, but how about the play, Jim? He realized he was being double-teamed on the catch and just batted the ball forward. And look at how happy Steve Fisher is for that young man. That was a sensational play. Smart thinking.
Fourth against Alexander, and Riley has had his problems tonight from the line.
Now we'll see what happened. Howard doesn't get the ball back to Rose. Now Riley sees what's coming and just taps the ball forward to what would have been a layup for Jimmy King.
Hatcher out, Reeves back in. A smart play by Riley, but an inadvertent smart play by Oklahoma State. 1 of 6 from the line.
Well, how about that foul? When it's going right for you, Jim, everything falls.
Missed his first 5. Now he's made 2 straight. Season high in both points and rebounds. 15 and 10 for Riley.
And that's amazing, 10 rebounds being his season high. Last year, the #2 rebounder in the Big Ten. So it's not like he wasn't capable.
Yeah, he had a 9-block game last year, too. Sutton lays it in, and a timeout called by the Cowboys. 15 for Sutton. 1:27 to go. Cowboys will talk.
Kids laugh when I talk. I hate words.
Trailing 67-63 with 1:27 to go. Jim Nance, Billy Packer, Curry Kirkpatrick. We heard Brian Reeves had to go out, had a tooth knocked loose, but he's been back in, although he's not in the lineup at this moment.
You notice how Rose stayed away from the ball to conserve his strength for a while. Now he's coming back to accept it. That really helps Michigan.
Sutton bumped into King. His third. UTEP within 8 now of the Bearcats.
Interesting, Sean Sutton there with the foul. I saw a little clip about him. Of course, he still has a lot of friends back in Kentucky. One of his closest, John Pelfrey. And when they talked recently, Pelfrey said, "You're lucky you're still not at Kentucky. You don't shoot enough to play at Kentucky." And he said, "Yeah, well, you're lucky you're not at Oklahoma A&M because you don't play Oklahoma State. You don't play enough defense to play out here." So, nice little slap back and forth between two good friends.
There's Reeves in for Hatcher. Sutton trying to avoid seeing his college career end the same place it started. Well, actually, Billy thought about going to Michigan once it was determined he would no longer stay at Kentucky. Fisher and Frieder both came down trying to recruit him to go play for the Wolverines.
This one.
Oh, that should have been.
That was off Reeves' hand, and I think Riley had him hooked. Riley's laughing because he knows that he really committed the foul and got away with it.
Hatcher comes back in for defensive reasons. 1:06 remaining.
But as we said before, not much going wrong for Riley tonight. There's Rose again, coming back to get the ball.
King runs it down for the save. Under a minute to go.
Now, you know what Rose did there, Jim? He saw that Riley was wide open, but he knew that Oklahoma State was going to foul the first man they could, so he, instead of passing to the open man, saying, "Hey, I'd rather be on the line than put Riley on the line," he retained possession. The kid is always thinking. And the normal tendency there would be to throw to the first open man, and he knew what would happen. They'd go right out and foul Riley.
56 seconds from a third game of the year, a rematch with Ohio State. Ohio State beat the Wolverines 68-58 at Michigan, holding the Wolverines to only 13 points in the first half. And then 77-66 Buckeyes at home. So they beat them 2 for 2.
Well, Jim, you know what Jalen Rose told us.
Yeah, that was no idea they would ever meet again.
A month ago.
That was before the Indiana game. Would you rather face Indiana or Ohio State? They said, we think Ohio State's the toughest. They could end up beating them both again.
They might, and of course, if they were to go all the way and meet Indiana, that'd be a rematch of the '76 NCAA championship in Philadelphia.
Ricky Green led Michigan to the finals. Indiana won it.
Let's go.
That's a
great shot. That was an NBA three.
That cuts it to 4, and that was Oklahoma State's last timeout.
When you've got something precious to carry, this is one way to do it. Here's another. Chevy Lumina Euros.
Michigan and Oklahoma State. Fire in Houston's line. His season low, 7 points. He averages 21. And in danger of setting a new low tonight.
Jim, nobody guarding a man out of bounds. Palinka put in the game for his free throw shooting. So right now, the only weak free throw shooter in the game for Michigan is Riley. Because you've got Palinka at 87%. You've got Rose at 75. You've got Howard at 67. And King at 72. So it's going to be very difficult for Oklahoma State to foul a poor free throw shooter here.
2 for Rose. Hey, did you know Oklahoma State and Michigan are going to meet again on September the 19th? At Michigan Stadium. College football. Maybe Corey Williams will be facing the Wolverines, this time in pads. 1 more for Rose. 37 seconds remaining. Remember, the Cowboys don't have any timeouts.
They're on that odd number now. They need a 3 and a 2. Down 5.
Williams hit one a moment ago. And one more. That's down to 2.
Plenty of time here. And Howard gets fouled. And you know, you can see that Jalen Rose is talking to Riley saying, the ball is to come to me. Rose wanted to be on that foul line again.
How about Corey Williams with back-to-back threes from way out there with players in his face?
Jim, we almost like burying Oklahoma State here, and I think a lot of the fans have, you know, thinking that Michigan already has this one won, but not the case.
Howard will shoot 2. 68% on the season.
Big free throw there. And he can really seal this up now if he can make this one, because Oklahoma State will need the 2 possessions, and they don't have a timeout to stop the clock on the end line.
Steve Fisher says his free throw shooter is our fiercest competitor. And he hits him.
Boy, buried 2 big ones.
Down to 1.
They do not.
No timeouts. Brown almost steals it.
8.7 seconds. No timeouts for Michigan. Michigan wants, no timeouts for Oklahoma State. Michigan took 1.
Unbelievable off-balance 3. 3 of them in the last minute, and it's down to 1.
This commercial is for people who expect their Chevy to do everything.
I was strong as I
didn't have the angle on it, but the official that called it was the back official. Goes to Rose. He's going to be on that line to win this thing.
Even if he makes them both, Oklahoma State should have a chance for a tie.
They can tie it in the way they've been putting them up between Sutton and Williams. Williams can get up that court so quickly.
Billy, with 56 seconds to go in this game, it was Michigan 70 and Oklahoma State 63. A 7-point lead with 56 seconds to go. Cowboys have gotten 2 threes by Corey Williams, 1 by Sutton, and they're within 1. Rose will shoot 2.
Now they can win the game, Jim, with a 3. He you have the guts, if he makes this, to foul them to make sure you can't lose this game with a 3?
Wouldn't it be something for Sutton to come back here and pull out a game at the end? Sean Sutton. Timeout, Michigan. Cowboys will have a chance to set up with 7 seconds remaining. No timeouts remaining, Billy. Michigan leads by 2. Oklahoma State has the ball.
Jim, we saw Georgia Tech have a chance to solve away a game earlier tonight. They did not put the ball in the hands of their primary dribbler, who would have been Travis Best. In this particular case, neither team has a timeout left, so this is really going to be the last play of the game.
Sean Sutton
gets it up, looking for Williams.
He's driving on Rose, spinning over, tries to force it inside. Stolen away by Howard, and a foul with 1 second left. That was a tough pass.
Yeah, it was a tough pass. He was looking for a backdoor cut on a reverse dribble, thinking it Williams. Boy, what thoughts are going through that young man's mind now. See, he was trying for the reverse dribble, figuring that they would overplay Williams and Williams would get the backdoor cut. But excellent defense that time by King, who didn't fall for it.
Just remember one thing, if Howard hits only 1 of 2, it was on this night, on the Friday night of the Sweet 16 2 years ago, when with 1.0 seconds on the clock at the Meadowlands, Tate George hit a game winner, and they had to go the length of the court with that one. Howard will shoot 2. Still have a chance.
Yep.
Actually, if he makes, it'll give Oklahoma State maybe a better chance to inbound.
Yeah, he'd be better off if he could put it right off the rim to put it off the rim.
Yep.
But then you take the chance of missing the basket altogether. But he'd be smart to miss this shot. Off the rim.
No, he made it. Now Oklahoma State can set up for 1.
And look at who's back here. Byron Houston not even under the basket.
Milton Brown. No way. Michigan is headed to the regional final. It's the Southeast Regional, but it's a Big Ten final. Ohio State and Michigan will duel for the 3rd time this season on Sunday. The Chevrolet players of the game, Eric Riley of Michigan, had a season high in both points and rebounds, and Corey Williams of Oklahoma State. Ohio State and Michigan, no strangers. They will meet Sunday for the right to go to the Final Four. Let's send you back to Pat O'Brien.
All right, James, thank you. Can't complain about those games from the Southeast, huh, fellas? Let's get everybody up to date on what's going to happen tomorrow here on CBS at 4 o'clock. The road to the final. Take you out to Kansas City for the finish of Cincinnati and UTEP. Here's Dick and Al.
And here in Kansas City, UTEP is giving Cincinnati fits. After the Bearcats were up by 14, the lead has been cut to 3. Cincinnati in white has the ball. UTEP has never led, but they're pesky defensively. Herb Jones, the leading scorer, goes up and is fouled and will go to the line. How's this game gone from the beginning when the Bearcats dominated to now where UTEP has come back out?
One of the big things that happened to beat the Bearcats, you must let them get out on you fast. They got out fast with a 14-2 lead. With 17 minutes to go in the first half, Don Haskins called a timeout, not waiting for the commercial timeout, and I thought that was the key to the game. Since then, the game has been kind of an ugly game, which Don Haskins likes to see. They're right in there. They're right in the money. I think Cincinnati has better material, but don't count the Miners out. They're tough in this type of a situation. They'll drive you crazy with those little guards.
Jones missed the first free throw. Johnny Melvin replaced Van Dyke, who goes out with 4 fouls. And that miss by Jones was the first miss at the free throw line. Nick Van Axel returns to the backcourt for Cincinnati. You can wait. 4:12 to go, 1 out of 2 for Jones, and a 4-point game. Here's that pressure that worked for the Bearcats early on.
Well, no, it's not really. It's really choking now. They're going to trap after half court. Man should come up right now. Here he comes. He didn't kill his dribble. He kept it alive. There's 3 underneath. Should be a layup.
Maxey with a short jumper. And the rebound to Cincinnati. They've got 3-on-1 now against Rivera, and Jones lays it in. Herb Jones now with 24.
That was a 4-point turnaround by missing that layup down the end.
Every time UTEP has made a run at the Bearcats, Cincinnati has had an answer. A withering, trapping defense. Broken there as Van Dyke cuts the lead now to 4 with less than 3.5 to go.
Bearcats' weakness is underneath the baseline. Anytime you can get the ball through their trap to anyone on the baseline, it's usually a dunk and 2 points.
Van Dyke with 18 tops the Miners in orange. They go low now to Buford, and a great play inside to Eric Martin.
That basket should be good.
It is good.
Foul.
And that'll be the 5th foul on David Van Dyke. He's out of the game.
And here's the kick down low. Eric Martin underneath. He originally started his college career at Texas Christian.
So the senior David Van Dyke has fouled out after scoring 18 points. He had 4 rebounds, and he'll be a big loss for the Miners as they try to catch up.
Well, you know, Dick, he plays a one-man zone and makes you alter your shot so many times as you get into the paint.
Eric Martin will try to complete the 3-point conversion here. And Roy Howard, who came into the game for Van Dyke, gets the rebound. 3 minutes remaining. The lead is 6 for Cincinnati. Here's a 3-point attempt by Johnny Melvin. Into the hands of Terrence Gibson. UTEP has had their opportunities to come back and tie the game.
They'll spread it out now, try to eat up some clock. That was a giant rebound by Gibson that time in the secondary rebound area. Ball goes out further when you shoot from 3-point land.
Cincinnati, the 4th seed, trying to advance to the regional final against Memphis State, a team they beat 3 times in the regular season. They're both from the Great Midwest Conference. And it is still Cincinnati's ball. Timeout here in Kansas City.
Michigan, 75, Oklahoma State.
Timeout story. Both teams have committed over 10 fouls, and UTEP gets the possession arrow. Terrence Gibson will inbound for the Bearcats. Herb Jones with an air ball, and Rivera cradles it, and UTEP's still alive.
They did not have a fresh clock that time. That's why he had to shoot. It was about 10 seconds left.
And a foul before the shot. That'll be the 2nd on Gibson. Bob Huggins in his 3rd year, just 37 years old. He's a screamer on the sidelines. What do you call him?
He's a keeper. He
Captain
works hard.
Fierce?
Excuse me?
Captain Fierce?
Captain Fierce. He puts out.
Alan Jackson has replaced Terrence Gibson, and on the line is Eddie Rivera, just 5'8" from the Bronx, New York. First time at the line for Rivera, who's a good free throw shooter at 71%. UTEP was down several times by 3. The last time was at 62-59, but on a key play, a basket was nullified by an offensive foul. And since then, Cincinnati has opened up a bit. And a timeout called by Don Haskins of UTEP. 1 timeout left for UTEP. They trail by 4.
When you've got something precious to carry, this is one way to do it. Here's another. Chevy Lumina Euro Sedan. Engineered with 4-wheel independent suspension and standard anti-lock brakes. It's one way to help make sure your precious cargo is delivered safely. Chevrolet, the cars more people depend on.
By 4 with 2:12 remaining. The starting center, David Van Dyke, has already fouled out. Those are the other people in foul trouble. UTEP has 1 timeout remaining, and they get the ball on a tie-up. It's a big defensive stop situation for UTEP, Al.
Right here. They'll let Cincinnati take as much off the clock as they want. They just don't want to give them a chippy layup or a putback. Don Hess' last time out says you must box out off a shot. They'll take it down another 7-8 seconds.
Jackson looks in. Good play, and it's tipped away with 10 seconds remaining. Bob Huggins, Bearcats trying to make it 9 in a row and advance to the regional finals. This team won 2 national titles in the early 60s. Martin almost got messed up, and a loose ball and a tie-up will go to UTEP. They have the possession arrow, so a good defensive stop there.
Ooh, that's a big, big possession arrow of all possession arrows. Here's the double team in the corner. They haven't shown that often. It's got to be a hot potato down there. There's the tie-up.
Corey Blunt has come into the game replacing Nick Van Exel with 1:31 to play. 4-point lead.
Corey Blunt has 4 personal fouls.
They finally get it in to Marlon Maxey. Got to have it in the ball handlers.
They got it there now. Everything's safe. 4-point spread.
Johnny Melvin. And here's a 3-point attempt by Prince Stewart. Tipped away. And is saved by Cincinnati nicely. So UTEP had another opportunity to go by the boards. And Herb Jones has a block.
Nice.
What a great block by Roy Howard.
Should have backed it up. Give UTEP an excellent chance here.
UTEP has blocked 9 shots tonight. And what a play by Johnny. Smooth Melvin to cut the lead to 2. This is the closest UTEP has come since early in the game.
There's still time for a shot. There's about a 5-6 point spread. There's the foul. 1 timeout left for Texas of El Paso. And here's the block down the other end. Watch come over and catch it. Perfect block. No foul.
Timeout, Cincinnati.
Well, I think what's going to happen here, they'll only trap in the corners. UTEP will let Cincinnati bring the ball down. It's a 7-point spread from the big clock to the small clock. The small clock is a shot clock. They just want to make sure they get the rebound. They got 1 timeout left. So if they get the rebound, they're called timeout and then go for all the marbles. That's if Cincinnati doesn't score.
Cincinnati scored the first 10 points of the game, the closest they've been since 2-0. Eric Martin goes in, and the foul is called against Roy Howard.
All right, you got 20 seconds left.
All right, we're going to thank some people tonight. An exciting Midwest Regional here in Kansas City. First of all, the coordinating producer of NCAA basketball on CBS is Bob Dekas. Tonight's game was produced by Robert D. Stenner and directed by Larry Cavallina. The Road to the Final Four was produced by David Winter and Eric Mann and directed by Duke Struck and Bob Mattina. The senior producer of CBS Sports is Ed Gorin, and the executive producer of CBS Sports is Ted Shaker. A big day and night for Ted Shaker. He and his wife Cheryl gave birth to a baby boy, and all our congratulations to the Shaker family.
I hear they have a problem picking a name for him. They should call him either Pepper or Salt.
We'll let them decide. Let Cheryl and Ted make that determination.
That was a big one. Now he makes this one 2 possessions, which would put El Paso in a tough position.
69-65. Each team has 1 timeout remaining. Timeout left. Jim Bice is in 3 guards in the lineup for UTEP now, Al.
That's not to score as much as it is to put pressure on after they score.
They got some 3-point shooters, but they don't need it just yet. They do need 2 possessions. Eddie Rivera feeds inside to Howard, and a foul called against the Bearcats. And that gives UTEP a life with just under 10 seconds remaining.
Now he gets 2 shots because it's past the 10th foul. Now all he has to do truly is just make one of these. And then it gives UTEP a chance in 1 possession to put it into OT.
Nick Van Axel replaces Eric Martin in the lineup, and Marlon Maxey is on the line shooting. He is 6 for 7 from the free throw line.
And there's 9 seconds left with some change, 9.4.
And they bring out that 3rd guard, Bice, and Johnny Melvin, number 32, replaces him. But they may have to foul if they don't make an early steal.
Oh, right away, they have to foul.
in any event.
Yeah, but first of all, see if he can make both foul shots, get in good shape. Even if he just makes one, they're still in the ball game.
And you can't worry about who you foul because you're going to have to foul whoever has the ball, so you don't look up at the stat book.
Don't make any difference anymore. Whoever touches the ball, you hit him. And if he makes this one, it's very important because if the guy goes down with the foul shots and only makes one, you can tie the game with a 3-point score.
Maxey makes them both, and it's a 2-point game.
Here's the pressure. Maxey's back playing a one-man zone underneath. The other 4 men are being played man-to-man. Should foul right away.
They don't.
They should foul right away. You got to foul. You got to foul. You got to foul. You foul intentionally.
They do not get to foul the Bearcats.
Intentionally, you got to foul.
The game is going to end.
Intentionally.
The play was to foul. They never got a chance to.
They were trying to pick up one man. You foul anybody in that situation. The clock is your enemy, not the Bearcats.
Cincinnati wins 9 in a row. They're now 28-4, and now will play Memphis State for the 4th time on Sunday. They have beaten them the first 3 times this year in the Great Midwest Conference. We'll have 2 representatives in the Midwest Regional Final Sunday. And our Chevrolet players of the game, David Van Dyke. Great job off the board. For UTEP, Herb Jones for Cincinnati. Thanks to Al McGuire and to Jim Gray. And the final score, University of Cincinnati 69, UTEP 67. This is Dick Stockton saying so long. And right now, let's send you to New York and Pat O'Brien. Pat?
All right, Dick, thank you very much. Let's, if you're still with us, let's set you up what's going on tomorrow here on CBS. We begin at 1 o'clock Eastern Time with the NCAA Men's and Women's Indoor Track and Field Championships. Then at 2 o'clock, it's the Men's Division II Championship, Bridgeport against Virginia Union. Then at 4 o'clock, the road to the Final Four, Dale Brown will be in, and he'll be discussing college things with Bill Walton, along with Digger Phelps and Mike and I. Then our big games begin at 4:42, Indiana and UCLA, and at 7 o'clock, Kentucky and Duke. I'd like to thank my partner, Mike Francesa, and Digger Phelps for coming on in tonight. We'll see you both tomorrow. You guys want to go out and get a cheeseburger? Maybe
why not? We got to eat.
Some straight caffeine, huh? Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.
They come from China.